going to like this series, and I particularly think you're going to like how it begins, because even over here on this side of the pond, we recognise that Detroit is the spiritual home to anyone whose communion wine is petrol and whose heart beats like a big, lumpy, wet V8. Which is why this week, and it's long overdue, the Grand Tour is off to the Motor City with an idea.
Here we go!
Local people are being encouraged to grow kale and beans and seeds in plots like this where houses and businesses once stood. It breaks your heart. I mean, this is Detroit. It shouldn't be a help-yourself pop-up street allotment for organic vegan peace hippies, when it could be a pulsating playground for the petrol head. It has the roads. It has the space. It was built by the rumble of a V8, and it should rumble to that sound once more. So that's what we've come here to do. Make some noise. These are the toys we'll be using. 3 American muscle cars, all of which have been tuned to a tire-shredding DEFCON 1. I have the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 3. Mr. Slowly has what's called the Exorcist. And in his whining Dodge Challenger Demon, Hammond has an erection.
To make this, they took a Hellcat, I drove one before on the show, and just made it more of everything. Oh, for God's sake. This car is tuned by Hennessy. They've taken a standard Camaro and they've given it 1,000 horsepower. They haven't touched anything else, only the engine. Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except the power. Yes! fast as they look through the bend. This is not a complicated one. It's tremendous. Here comes a really dangerous bend. It's idiotic, honestly. And yea, though I walk in the shadow of the valley of death, I will fear no evil. Because I am the Exorcist.
This may look small and delicate compared to the other two, but be in no doubt, it has the muscle car credentials. Oh yeah. The fact is that the engine in Hammond's car is a push-rod, two-valve iron museum piece. And May's car, yes, it has 1,000 horsepower, but it's running on standard brakes. This is just a little bit cleverer. They haven't just put a supercharger on it and left it at that. They've stiffened up the suspension and lowered it and stiffened the anti-roll bars. So, it can do this. Oh, cool.
It's kind of
Here we go, speed up again now. Oh, God, that looks tricky. Oh, dearie me. This then is the Anthony Joshua of muscle cars. Big and brawny, but it has brains as well. Then there's its name. It's the RTR, which stands for, and I'm not making this up, Ready to Rock.
Chaps, did you know mine only comes with one seat as standard?
Really?
What?
As standard, you get one seat in a Demon. You can opt to have the others put back in, and it costs you $1.
Which seat do they put in as standard?
Eventually, we decided to pull over in our motoring theme park to see which of our fairground muscle rides would be the fastest. In a street drag race.
I already know what I've taken.
So,
If
what
I
I'm
can
thinking
choose.
is, here, when the lights go green, down, what's a quarter of a mile, just beyond the church?
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect.
What if the police come?
Well, he won't, he's in Beverly Hills. I've seen the movie.
Why can't we just do this on a racetrack or a runway like we usually do?
Because
Let's do this.
Sorry, so we can't do it. I'm sorry.
We can.
We're not going to do it without that.
Let me think. Yeah, we are. Just
Really
right the
gonna-
way. Right the way off.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna let
One
the
for all and
demon.
all for yourselves. That's how
Yep.
it goes, isn't it?
Are they not gonna let the demon go? Because that's the car I choose. Of course not, because
Aircon
the
is
demon's
off.
the drag car. Alright. Smart choice.
3, 2, 1. Off we go. I don't want to sound like you, but the launch control of this car is so complicated. There's a YouTube video about it, and I have watched it, but I've forgotten.
Finally, I waved the white flag. And then we took a closer look at the savage beating heart of the Exorcist. And that's a standard Corvette engine, basically,
Z06, yep.
with a supercharger plonked on the top. That's there, yes?
Yes,
Yay.
2.9 litre supercharger.
So the bit they've bolted to your engine is bigger than most European engines.
Yes.
So's the one on mine. It's 2.7 litres.
Yeah, not as big. The point is, Simon, this is the Exorcist. The job of the Exorcist is to vanquish the demon.
It's like, you remember in the 60s, I think Di Tommaso made a car called the Mangusta, which is Italian for mongoose.
Yes, and a mongoose can kill a cobra, can't it?
That's why they did it.
Yes, but this hasn't vanquished the demon. It hasn't beaten it.
Tell you what, why don't you find a racetrack or a runway somewhere, okay? I'll gracefully bow out, and we can have a race
Oh yeah,
between
that's right.
good
It's illegal to race the Dodge Demon
and
on the
evil.
streets. I forgot about that. I totally forgot. Yeah, they make you
First,
sign a
though, we
waiver.
decided to find out which of our cars makes the loudest noise.
The
There
Exorcist.
were, of course, many
completely
possible
straight
locations
pipe.
for this important test. But eventually, we found one that was absolutely ideal.
Of course, it's gonna be the Exorcist because it's completely straight piped. That's pretty much it.
Since
It's
the
just got
owners feared the
it's
noise
got
from our
cherry-
engines would bring down
it's
the
got cherry
crumbling roof,
poppers for
we were given
dang.
protective clothing.
Freaking, that's what they
Let's
call them.
put this on because
Cherry
there may be
popper
dust.
headers.
There will be
Pretty much
dust.
nothing.
Traction
thing is
off.
Probably one
I'd
of
say
the
wheel spin.
quietest one.
Wheel spin, that just makes a huge amount of noise. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go. Sorry. God, that's pretty horrible.
How loud?
Well, at its peak,
Yep.
125.2. Oh, wait a minute. You don't know. You're the first to go.
125?
Yes.
The Who, widely regarded to be the loudest rock band of all time.
Yes.
126 decibels. Deep Purple, a mere 117 decibels. That car is louder than Deep Purple.
But probably a lot quieter than my demon.
Any minute now, paramedic will be cutting his trousers off.
You should have taken him off before he got in.
Joe, I don't know why he wears trousers.
Here we go. Ready? In 3, 2. Oh, wait a minute. It hasn't done it. Easy mistake. We've all done it. Forgotten the key when you're donutting in a Detroit theatre that's been turned into a multi-story car park. Everybody's been there.
Okay, in 3, 2.
Begin. God's sake. Oh, no.
125.2 to beat.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of noise.
118.8 tiptoe boy.
2.7 litre capacity supercharger on it. It's
Yeah, but it doesn't make
well, they
any
didn't
noise.
build it for this. They built it for drag racing, and they wouldn't let me
Oh,
do
did
that.
they?
So,
Did they?
How do
well,
we
they-
know?
Well, they did.
Before this sore point became even sorer, I sent James off to have a go.
I don't think he's ever done a donut
No.
in his life.
No.
We are about to witness James D. May losing his virginity.
Popping his donut cherry.
James May, are you ready? Fire it up in 3. It took him a little while, but eventually he got the hang of it.
Away! What's my score?
Why don't we just go? Come on, James, we've got to go.
Yep, moving on.
What was it?
Oh, I've wiped it.
No, you haven't.
It was 12.
Come on, what was... Why have I got this on my face? What was
It
it?
was 128, so just 2.8 more than me.
So more.
Yes.
Hold that.
Why?
Please just hold that.
Oh, I hate the victory dance. I hate the victory dance.
Good, right, let's
How much
move
is
on.
your car? How much?
98, something like that.
£98,000.
Yes.
40,000.
Yeah, but mine's better, so it's more expensive.
40,000.
Faster and louder.
720 horsepower, £40,000.
Am I the only person here who understands muscle cars?
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
You never got the burgers either.
No, you didn't. We shall pick that up later on.
You may remember in the very first show of the Grand Tour in the first season, I was blown away by McLaren P1.
Yeah, I do remember. You said it would be faster than the Porsche 918 and the Ferrari, And, no, wait a minute. It wasn't, was it? And as a result, the only thing that got blown away was your house.
Yes, that's undoubtedly true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it remains to this day the most exciting, most brutal, most visceral car I've ever driven. And I didn't think it could ever be topped. But McLaren have given it a bash. And I thought, well, if they've built a car that can out P1 a P1, I'd better test it somewhere a bit less narrow and a bit less tree-lined and a bit less covered in deers and badgers than the Ebola-drome. So I took it to the fastest racetrack in Europe, which is, actually, anyone want to guess which it is? No, not Monza. Not Spa.
Do you know?
What?
Do you know?
Thruxton.
Boys.
Thruxton is the fastest racetrack in Europe. So that's where I took the new McLaren.
Hello, fellow driving enthusiasts. James here. Owing to the unique way we make video games, we are sadly unable to have the McLaren Senna in this episode for now. Apologies for that. As a sort of consolation prize, we're going to go back and look at Hammond driving the equally fantastic McLaren 720S from Season 2.
Here we go! It's called the 720S.
Get a bloody
We all know.
keep the pressure on. Oh my God. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, God. This is dangerous because of you.
Oh, this take is horrible.
0 to 60 takes just 2.8 seconds.
Well, that was
Top
bad.
speed is 212 miles an hour.
Hurry up! Everything is bigger in this car.
Here we go!
Staggering! We're off. Oh my God! Oh my God!
although they've gone nuts with the styling and the...
Let's do this.
And it's light. Overall, they've lost about 18 kilograms.
Get a bloody move on.
Traction control, I think we'll go for all of it. Lots of drift available.
Your slime fest.
Apparently I have
You can
6
switch
viewers.
back to comfort
What?
mode and settle down for a relaxing
There's no
cruise.
way I have 6 viewers.
That's the thing that stands out about this car. It's
but
everything
on
in
my
one.
phone, I
You
have
want
2.
speed, you get
Hmm.
speed. You want comfort, you
Nobody's
get comfort. You want to lose
left any
tyre rubber,
comment, so
help yourself.
that's
You want
cool.
boot space, there's plenty.
But the thing I keep coming back to is those looks. Because at last, McLaren's technical perfection has been clothed in a way that does justice to the fizzing brilliance underneath.
I
God,
don't
I'm
put my
falling
phone
in love
like
a bit
that.
here. Actually,
It's out of the way.
Okay, fine.
We must now get back to our film.
Yes.
Earlier on, we decided that Detroit should be a big sort of petrol head theme park. So we went over there with 3 tuned muscle cars.
Yep, and so far we've staged a drag race, done some donuts, and Jeremy has driven over some vegetables.
And then the next day, we decided that what Detroit really needs is a racetrack.
Yeah, even though it already has 2.
Yes, but we wanted something more earthy. So we headed for the city centre.
Oh no, the city center? The Sim Center?
Having
Oh,
returned
no,
to the
what did they
rundown
do?
suburbs, we eventually found the perfect place to build a racetrack.
No, I thought they literally meant...
Cadillac's old Connor Avenue
Oh.
factory.
Oh, I
For
was
over
wondering
60
what happened to
years,
that.
they stamped out the body panels here for icons like the Eldorado, the Fleetwood, and the Coupe de Ville. If it were up to James, this
This is
creaking
gonna be
monument to the Motor
horrible.
City's decline would be turned into a shrubbery. But it wasn't up to James. So it would become a Monte Carlo-style tunnel feature on our Detroit-themed racetrack.
No, this is gonna be a pain in the ass.
Because building the track involved heavy machinery and manual labor, Hammond insisted on doing everything himself.
that is going to be a fast corner.
Despite this, though, he soon had everything ready. Because the track had been built by the world's most accident-prone driver, we thought it best that the God-fearing exorcist should christen it.
Jesus. This thing is really bad at corners.
Oh my word. Oh, danger. Full throttle. Help! Forward.
After his run, James couldn't wait to give Hammond some constructive feedback.
I just want to say, Hammond, you witless dishcloth. That is the worst racetrack I've ever been round. It's slippery, it's full of holes, it's full of obstacles for you to crash into, it's narrow.
It's challenging, is it? Technical.
It's not... Here we go!
All of us then set about our practice laps on Hammond's death trap. However, these were just unofficial practice laps. Get a bloody move on.
8, 3, 2, 1, begin! Go!
God, it feels like my wheel on Forza Motorsport just turns all the way. Actually, no, it feels more like Project Motors. Apparently have 7 viewers on PlayStation. There's 2 on YouTube.
Oh, no!
8. I'm going flat out this lap.
Myself.
Funny noise.
However, the trouser accident had clearly been worth it. I'm happy with that, and I haven't hit any famous musicians or bits of old car factory.
Next, it was
You
the turn
definitely have.
of Corporal Crash.
Where's the fire engine gone? I saw
Fire
it
engine's
earlier.
over there. The ambulance is...
Oh, we're all comedians today.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, if you lose to James May...
It's more humiliating. It's worse than death.
In 3, 2, 1...
Oh, go, give me everything you've got.
Alright, time to crash.
Adding power, this is good.
My own car doesn't fit around my own racetrack. What have I done? Oh no.
My own car doesn't fit my own racetrack. That's first world problem.
Oh no. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. Don't look so bloody surprised. Oh, God.
Alright, we're gonna slow down, we got gold.
Keep going.
That felt good. It felt like a quick one.
I don't know how to put this to you, but...
No.
Yeah. 0.4 of a second slower than James, mate.
This is what death feels like.
Yep, okay, get out of the demon. We've done the demon and the exorcist. It's time for the Blue Nun.
Blue Nun?
Yeah.
Totally pointless waste of time, then. We've established the Mustang is the fastest by an enormous margin.
Really, let's see about that. I can make that not happen right here.
Keep your foot in it, man.
Go. Keep going. I mean, if you're making a racetrack, I would have measured it with your car and just been like, okay, this wide. Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna slow down because I'm going way too fast. I'm crashing everywhere. Like that.
Very, very quickly here. Look at that for a tidy line. Get on with it.
You're running!
I know, but you'll see. We've got to get down to this corner before he gets back. Help me tip this over.
What is it?
It's organic palm oil, very slippery. It's the revenge of the urban farmer.
Into the blind bend. There is Stevie Wonder.
You do know it's palm oil that's ruining life for the world's orangutan.
Only this one.
Come on. Come on. Short shifting into third.
And on that terrible disappointment...
For him.
It's back to the tent.
You? Oh. I thought it had been you.
Oh, no.
You ruined my lap.
You said Detroit had to be a playground, and that's what I was doing. I was playing.
Listen, can my practice time stand? Because that was still the quickest.
That's not how it works. You can't just say that because you were the quickest in qualifying, you would have won the race if you hadn't crashed.
Well, I can say it.
Well, you can say it. I could say I'm the captain of the English cricket team. I wouldn't be any good at it.
Well, moving on.
I knew where he was going with that.
Let's do this.
The race between good and evil. Are we ready, gentlemen? The build of the Demon was complete. And it was time for the drivers to warm their tyres.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1, man out! Right, your tyres are warm. Are you now ready?
What?
Are you ready to come to the start line?
No!
What do you mean, no?
No, that was just a celebratory burnout.
Oh, geez, he's got out.
I've done all the building work, now I've got to set the car up. I've got to get in the right modes. There's stuff to do, mate.
Oh, I've had enough. I'm sorry, I've had enough. Bye.
Get a bloody move on.
Uh-oh. I'm so glad I was... End the live stream here. I don't know what to do. Yeah, guys, I'm ending it here. That's